another
Just
zero.
start at that end and just go down your list. And my car's rolling away.
You got a microphone on?
Yes.
Good. So do I. All right, this is, we're gonna have fun tonight. Like we always do. Stopwatch is started. This is show number 229. And I'm gonna start with this thing up here with Rocky Mountain. Okay, Richard, let's do this. Give us a countdown.
And 3, 2, 1.
The What's Neat This Week video podcast is supported by enthusiastic model railroaders just like you. And by GL Robotics. With over 61 colors of 3D printing filaments in stock, your gateway to new technology. Check out their website at glroboticsusa.com. Further support is provided by Microengineering, keeping you on track with quality products for 55 years. Check out their website at www.microengineering.com. Order from your local dealer or order direct by calling 1-800-462-6975. Additional support is provided by Spring Creek Model Trains, your destination for model trains. Stop in and say, wow. Check out their website at springcreekmodeltrains.com. And by Intermountain Railway Company, where the detail makes the difference. Check out their website at intermountain-railway.com. Additional support is provided by Yelsma Graphics, America's leading distributor of quality railroad art and embroidered clothing since 1985. Check out their website at yelsma.com. Further support is provided by the NCE Corporation, the power of DCC. Visit their website at ncedcc.com. And thank you for supporting the What's Neat This Week podcast. This is the What's Neat This Week in Model Railroading, show number 229 for April 1st, 2023. Are you guys going to do any April Fool's jokes tonight? No, I don't know. I'm afraid to find out while the cameras are rolling. Today was an exciting day out in Colorado, in Denver, Colorado. It was the Rocky Mountain Train Show, which we did a show from live about 2 years ago, which was a lot of fun. Was that 3 years ago?
4.
That was 4 years ago.
Wow.
When did that happen? Our friend Scotty Hicks, that was on the show a couple of months ago, and also did the opening with Holly on the What's Neat show, I think, that ran at the same time he was visiting, sent us some beautiful photographs of the train show, which I have got, thank you to Austin's technical skills, on this monitor tonight, which as we scroll through the photos, which I'm going to do right now, live TV. We have our wonderful friends from Spring Creek with their booth set up right there.
Dave Zucker.
I know, I see Dave Zucker there. The red tablecloths. They're so good at color coordinating their booths. Stop in and say, wow, Spring Creek Model Trains up in Deschler, Nebraska. We're selling a lot of products out there at the Rocky Mountain Train Show this weekend. This, I was told, was the outside of the building, because I don't remember the outside of the building when I was there last, but Austin says...
Yeah, it's definitely a new venue. I've seen it on their Facebook page, so...
Okay, so that explains my misconception of location. This is a screenshot of the general crowd enjoying. I see a lot of LGB products and Bachmann products there. Here's our friend Dr. Robert Steers.
Yes.
Roka, R-O-K-A, prototype models with the Safe Pack auto racks on his table. He looks happy. I love it when he looks happy. That makes me happy. Here's our friend Jim Wiggin from Athern Trains out in beautiful Champaign, Illinois, at their booth. I'm not sure what the announcements were. I'm going to follow up next week on the show with what some of the new announcements were, if there were any at this show. This is our friends at Bachmann Industries in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, set up.
I see they finally got the G-Scale -9s out, too.
It did come out. Yes. In fact, they were shipping last week and the week before that, because I heard on Facebook from a few friends that they had received theirs, and they're very happy with the all-new workings of that locomotive. Plus, the Evans boxcar is out, and the coal cars are out. Beautiful. So Bachmann has done a fantastic job at releasing these beautiful models. This is Marklin. And I believe that's also LGB of America, the same booth with a lot of the new wares. You can see the beautiful big boy locomotive and a lot of the European models that they've got. That's awesome. This is a shot of the Athearn display up close. See Dash 9s there, some tank cars. So it was pretty good turnout. I also do not know what the numbers are. George Bogatak. Otherwise known as Goalie George. We love you, buddy.
Yeah, he's fun, man.
He is. Look at that smile. It is absolutely just, it's contagious. So rock and roll, that is the Rocky Mountain Train Show, as the photos from Scotty Hicks shared with me this afternoon. Thank you very much for doing that, Scotty. I also briefly want to go through some beautiful freight cars that we've got on the table tonight. These are brand new offerings from Intermountain Railway out in Longmont, Colorado. Thank you for working with us, supporting the best hobby in the world. And what these are 5277 cubic foot box cars. They come with Katy couplers. They have metal wheel sets. I took them outside and I shot them. The weather was absolutely fantastic earlier in the week. As you can see from this video clip that I'm running, there's not quite any leaves on the trees yet around here. Just the bushes are just starting to get green. And I actually mowed part of the lawn yesterday. So the fresh grass cut smell, that smell you haven't smelled. Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
So, but what I want to share with you now, I've got some still photographs also of all these cars set up outside as a group shot. I'm going to start out with the Santa Fe, which is actually an ex-Railbox car number 51643 in yellow, and this one's got the silver unpainted roof on it, as if the overspray from the yellow,
Right.
which would be an absolutely fantastic job for you to weather up. I know, right? Can you see the burnt rubber on the panels?
Yes.
With the matching panels, because the panels are always rust out exactly the same as they come. Yeah, I know.
Right.
The next one is Rock Island. This is the Route of Rock in white. Route Rock in white. It's a nice car. Reporting marks on that are ROCK. Car number 302241. I shot these on top and from the sides so that you can also see the detail on them. I also took some end detail shots of the freight cars so that you can see all the wire grabs and all the coupler lift bars and all the things that we used to apply ourselves using the Details West and Details Associates. Remember those
Drilling
days?
holes.
Drilling
Yeah.
holes. We don't have to do that anymore. I actually got an email this week. I'm going off script here. Something about it's getting harder and harder to find scale paint.
Yeah.
Scale coat, from what I understand,
Right.
may not be being manufactured anymore, which is Scale Coat 1 and Scale Coat 2. And I had somebody ask me about how to go about matching paints and getting it right. And what should I do? And it was an interesting question. What I told them was the shake of the box spray cans are so good these days that you can literally paint with a spray can on buildings and structures. And if you want to paint a freight car or something like that, weathering wise, you simply spray the paint into a jar, drop in a little bit of lacquer thinner, and you can airbrush that perfectly. It works well. So I'm getting off script here. Canadian National is the next one in the center here on the table. Car number 419257. It's in brown. And again, these have got Katy couplers and metal wheels on them. CSX, I love this one in a dark blue. Reporting mark CSXT is what they should say on there. I didn't write that down. Car number 142810 in dark blue. Nice out and outdoor sunlight. The last one on the table tonight is the Burlington Northern in green. This is car number 217517. And boy, we've seen a lot of those out on the railroad running in the days. I'm not exactly sure the era of these, Mike. Would these be the late 80s, mid 90s?
Well, that
probably
rock
got dates
car
on them.
is the earliest one I saw, built April 1979.
79, okay.
So, and that was after the rock had already pretty much gone under. So I think those must have been some of the last cars that came out. Yeah, Seth Wetzel would know that, Chief. So,
I'm a little bit off tonight. I've been working in the yard all day and doing photo shoots and this and that, and working on very little sleep at the moment. But I want to launch into the next thing is, oh, by the way, who do we have sitting on the set tonight? Do you see how I'm so off key on this one? I've got Austin Hellard sitting next to me. Hey, hello, Austin.
Hey,
It's good to have you here tonight, brother.
it's going to be a fun night.
You're going to talk about it is. I know, right? I have a bonfire ready to go out there. We got to light that. And I've got Mike Buddy sitting where Mike always sits.
Hey, everybody.
Mike. It's good to have you with with us here tonight.
Rich is behind camera tonight. Rich
And
Bianca.
Richard is running camera. Hey, Richard. It's great to see you. That's what I've got in my notes for new products and with regards to the train show. Mike and Austin, what are we going to talk about tonight? Now, you guys were having a very interesting informal conversation with Doug and Richard. We were all sitting down here talking about models, and we arrived at the conclusion that we could literally just turn on the cameras and sit in chairs, which is actually what we're doing, and actually talk about, just listen to what you were talking about.
Right, that's the way it started out, with Chris. And
That is the way it started out.
Yeah, those that's been a
Very
long
first
time
show.
ago, man.
Smile, Patterson. He said smile. Here we are.
But yeah, Austin was talking about containers, and my era ends before 1980, and I have all 40-foot and 20-foot containers on, and no double stacks or anything. They're just on 85-foot flat cars, and so I'd like to bring some of my containers maybe next week and compare them to the ones that you're talking about from Jacksonville Terminal.
Yeah.
Who are they from?
Jacksonville
Terminal.
Okay.
Yeah.
The company, it's I'm not sure how long they've been around, but they make pretty much every container known to man in N scale.
You had that on
I'm
the computer here a moment ago.
Right.
Yeah, it's the other tab.
And
there,
they're
just to the
come
right.
in faded,
At the
real
very
nice
top.
fade and
Where?
rust spots.
Right there?
Yep. So
Oh, wow. Get on this, Richard. Check this out.
Yeah, so I bought these containers from Jacksonville Terminal since they've expanded their line into HO.
Okay.
And they're really neat because they take the guesswork out of having to weather every single
Yeah.
container. So if you see the top one, it's already pre-faded,
Mm-hmm.
and it looks like it's got several places where the metal's been fabricated to be repaired. Obviously, the other two, they're actually 3 different colors,
Yeah.
which is fantastic. I mean,
Sure.
you can't get much more realistic than that. And you slap an easy coat of, dust on it, and it's almost done. And then obviously weather the corners and the
Yeah.
pins on them.
Mm-hmm. But a
it's-
lot of work is saved for you when it comes pre-faded like that.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
with the patch panels and everything, it's really nice.
And the neat part about these containers, I was talking to Mike, was, I got a lot of brands of containers. I have Atlas, Athearn, Walters, and several other brands as well that are kind of off brands. But the neat part about this company, the pins on the bottom are very small, but they
Like
still
thin.
fit. Yeah, they're very thin, so they
Yeah.
fit together. But they also fit on top of every other model perfectly. And then the holes for the actual container for the top
Mm-hmm.
is bigger, so it fits all the other brands on the top too. So this guy definitely thought it all through first.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And I sent him a nice message on Facebook saying, "Hey, you did really well, and I'd love to see the product line expand in HO."
Yeah. Is this the first offering
Yeah, so
in
this is
HO?
the first offering he's done in HO. In fact, it was funny. I'll take a picture and send it to you of the packaging. It says, "Hi, Big Brother" on the packaging because
Oh, because
from
of
N scale to
scale,
HO,
yeah.
of course. So
That's pretty
But
good.
it was funny because when I was at Lombard a couple weeks ago, I went up to the wall, and I'm sure Spring Creek has the same thing, but it was just walls and walls of N-scale containers. I mean, think about N-scale containers.
Yeah, right.
Super tiny.
Right.
But he sells them in 2 packs, and I'm like, man, I could use a lot of those in HO scale, and so I hope he
Yeah,
expands his
nice.
line.
We'll bring those next week, and
Yeah, absolutely.
we can look at them.
Yeah, compare them. It's
Yeah.
a little different, too, because those are 53s, and
Yeah.
obviously those are domestic.
Now
Next
those,
week, I'm interrupting you real quick. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm totally off tonight.
No, you're good.
I remember the days when they first came out with those well cars.
yeah.
We were watching the Pentrix videos. That was so you could see what to
Yeah.
model what they would look like. And at the time, they were only 40-foot
Right.
well cars, and they kept expanding and increasing.
First
and,
ones I saw had like big bulkheads on each end.
Yes.
You know,
Oh yes.
Sealand.
The Southern Pacific.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those like
Yeah.
maybe 82, 84.
Yeah,
maybe?
you know what? It's funny you say that because I watched an intermodal train go through today.
Yeah.
Had
He had
probably
some
2
of
or
those.
3 of those 5-unit
Wow.
sets still running.
Still in them.
When
So-
first time I saw those, I thought, no way, that'll never work. I was
know.
wrong.
I know there's still a lot of railroad routes that they can't run double stacks on because the height restrictions.
Mhm.
St. Louis, the Hill branch on the
Yeah,
UP is one
right,
of them. They'll hit the
right.
bridge.
we would get those containers and we'd assemble them in groups of 5, and I think they were made by A-Line. And actually, they were independent well cars, if I remember correctly. And what you had to do, if you wanted them to be joined together, was with regards when Wathers first came out with their well cars, they were individual cars with a set of trucks, 2 sets of trucks. It was a freight car. But what I had done was I cut off the end, modified it, and turned them into 5 unit sets.
Okay.
And that was an article that ran in Rail Model Journal back in 1989, I think it was, something like that. It's just a blur to me at the moment, but all that work that we used to do, and now you see the stuff like what Stephen Priest is coming out with, these beautiful containers and well cars, and all the various different kinds of well cars, some of the most odd ones, not just the general ones that you see.
And they're well weighted. They
Right.
track really nice. The old days, you have to put weight in the bottom container to keep it from wobbling too much or coming off the track.
Oh my gosh, now you got me
Yeah,
starting
yeah.
to think about what I used to go through. I bet somewhere down here I can pull out photographs as I talk about this, which means it's going to be a fun edit.
Yeah.
But have you ever decaled an entire stack train?
No, but I know you have.
I have. Oh, Lord. It was a test in sticking to it, not giving up, not just saying, just walk away from the workbench.
Yeah.
And you're literally doing 4 sides of each container. You're doing the roof. You're doing the painting first. You're painting all the door latches and the bars on the end. And that's all masking. Well, I finally created a mask where I could use it over and over again, pull it up, do the next car, just to get through the process.
Yeah.
And then you're also painting and decaling the well cars themselves. And of course, I've got a ton of photographs. I got photographs lined up all over the workbench while I'm sitting here, and you guys are coming over, and it's like, what you doing, Ken? I'm doing the same project I was doing last week,
Yeah, I
and the week
remember that.
before. And all the eagles. This was at the time where they were red, white, and blue with the red eagles on them. APC or
APL.
APL or APC,
yeah.
both.
Right.
Really cool. Back then, Union Pacific just got the Cyclops, I think, locomotives with the 3 windows in the front, the wide cabs. That was all of it was new to us back then.
Right.
But we were trying to model it on that Midwest Valley Modelers layout to make it look accurate, and it was fun. That was a good time. That was a long time ago. And now you can just go to the store and buy it pre-weathered.
Say they've taken the guesswork out of all of it. There is
Yeah.
no more decaling. It's just take it out of the box, put it on the track.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I mean, I've even
Yeah.
seen containers that have got the complete interiors in them now, and the doors open.
Yeah.
I think
The
we might have featured some of those on-
Aurora models.
Aurora, did we have those on the
Aurora
show?
miniatures. Yeah, there's actually one right there that has the door open.
Yeah, we ought to do it.
Where?
Right there on the shelf behind you.
How about that?
Right there, the little brown one. That
Oh my God, I
matches
see
the
it.
shelf perfect.
Oh, Lord, let me reach it. You know what? Next week, let's bring our containers out.
Okay.
I will pull out all my containers. They were all painted with scaled coat 2 paint. And they've been sitting in the garage for 20 years, 25 years
Might
now.
be some spiders in there.
They're yellow.
gonna say, yeah.
The paint actually turned yellow. The white
Oh,
turned
yeah.
yellow.
Yeah.
And half of them aren't even decaled yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is the one that's got the full interior on it that you're describing.
That's
The door's
pretty
open
awesome.
and
It's
everything.
amazing. It's
Yeah.
amazing. It's amazing. Thank you, China, for you guys making all of our models so we don't have to anymore.
Yeah, some people scorn at us buying this ready to run, highly detailed stuff, but how much is your time worth? You
And
know,
that goes
I mean,
back to the question of, okay, why is it that maybe scale coat paint isn't maybe being produced anymore? I could have thought that it might have been because of the chemicals that they use, the lacquer base, the cancer-causing agents maybe have become politically incorrect to use to the point where companies are afraid
Right.
to manufacture and sell that product.
Yeah.
Age restrictions. There's a lot of youth in the hobby. But the fact is, when you can get everything that's already pre-painted, look at all of the locomotives offered by all of the manufacturers,
Right.
Bachmann and Athearn
Right.
and Rapido, and you just go through the list. They're perfected. They're so beautiful. All you got to do is, if you want to, is weather them. And back then, I used to be an avid brass collector, Overland
Yeah,
models. So
right. I remember
we
that.
were sandblasting our locomotives to get that clear coat off so that the door relief and hinges would not be buried by the scale coat
right.
paint, which we thinned and painted and baked in the oven and made perfect finishes on the locomotives, and then decaled the locomotives. And if you wanted to put in lighting, constant lighting systems at the time was a some sort of a capsule that you wired up and you
Yeah.
put it in a locomotive and you had headlights, and that was like really
Even
cool.
that was a mystery to me back
That was
then.
really cool. We are describing our age here.
Yeah.
Boy, do I have it easy.
Yeah.
You don't have to go through any of that.
Yeah.
But again, the stuff is so beautiful off the shelf. Mm-hmm. And then you got to come down to the point of asking yourself, what's your time worth? I think somebody just said that a minute ago.
Yeah, I mean, you would spend, easy 4 hours by, adding all the grab irons, drilling all the holes, the ladders, and, underbody detail and all that stuff, and cut bars and door rods. I mean,
That's so true.
I know there's a lot of people in the hobby that kind of say, hey, it's a lot easier to model now, but that, in my opinion, I think you have more time to spend elsewhere.
exactly.
You have your models that
Right.
are pre-built. Now you can spend more time on scenery.
Yes.
You can spend more time elsewhere trying to
Yep.
perfect the layout
Right. And,
instead of having to worry about building a car that would take you 4 hours.
I mean, you can still put your own touch on it, even if it comes with a nice
absolutely.
fade like that. You can put your own rust spots,
For the
to make
modern
them
people, they can do
individual. and-
graffiti.
Yeah. Right, you got to paint the
there's a
wheels.
lot of stuff.
You got to paint the wheels that rust color that we like to
Yep.
always do on them. I got that Pac-Man train over there still sitting there for 3 weeks, and I haven't done that to it yet. But there's 380 sets of wheels on that train. It takes a while to paint those. I've seen manufacturers sell products that are actually plexiglass with holes in them
Right.
where the wheels fit perfect
Yeah,
in them.
right, and there's like six
You just
of
spray
them,
it.
yeah.
Right? I find it better just to take a paintbrush, and at the time, Flocal Rust or Flocal Roof Brown, and just sit there and spin the wheel with your brush
That's
on the
what I
wheel and
do.
watch TV, and it's very methodical. If you're looking for, yeah.
I've painted all mine with brushes on my layout too, so it's okay.
Oh my gosh, remember the days. Oh my gosh. Remember the days when we were so proud with our 4x8 Tyco layout, our Pacific locomotive, or our Jeep
I
9s.
had a GP20
With-
Santa Fe.
with the pancake motors in them, right? And it was just so much fun, even to go as far as pulling off the plastic wheels and replacing them at the time with KD wheel sets or KD wheels. That was like a big time upgrade.
Right.
I mean, if you were at the train club and you showed up with KD wheels with real springs in them, you were like, cool. This is crazy. This conversation came from nowhere.
I never had any friends that were into trains. I was like the lone wolf until I met you guys. I was friends with the guys at the hobby shops, behind the counter, but I didn't know of anybody else around St. Louis that did this stuff. And so, and that's one of the best parts of the hobby, meeting other people like you got the same mindset and stuff.
Oh, it was so much fun with you, me, Dave Davis, Mike Buddy, that's you.
Yeah.
And we would just sit down here and compare notes, show each other new models every week. We had our own little private podcast.
Right.
We were showing each other stuff. I was outside doing photos, coming up with cover shots and trying to get advertising for the manufacturers, and just turned it into sort of a job, actually.
Yeah.
What happens when your hobby goes from a business or from a hobby to a job?
Well, I don't know.
Every day you wake up and it's usually a joy.
Yeah.
It's a lot of trains.
Yeah.
Because every day you're going to wake up and do just what you want to do anyway. And I don't have to be at work looking at the clock, drinking
Right.
my coffee, dealing with
no.
office politics, and wishing I was home running the layout. Now I'm home running the layout, drinking my coffee. Oh my gosh. All right, Mike, what'd you bring tonight?
Well, just happened to be along the same theme of intermodal, but these are the new Rapido trailers. And I thought I had a vague memory of when I was very young seeing some green Penn Central trailers, but ever since I've never seen a photograph of one, so I thought it was a figment of my imagination, but they actually did exist. And Rapido's got a bunch of period correct road names like Lehigh Valley and Pennsylvania Truck Train, and these are 40-footers. They're the lower, I think they're 12 feet tall. So when you put it next to a 13-foot 6 trailer, you can really tell the difference. But I was really happy to see these green trailers, so I bought 2 of them. And one thing I did to improve, I thought, was the tread on the tires was pretty big, and the tread on the side says Super High Miler, which is a Goodyear trademark, her Goodyear brand of tire, and they really did have big tire treads on the back like these were, but I put mine in a drill and sanded them down a little bit because just to make them look more worn out like the Penn Central stuff is. So one kind of funny thing there, where the Goodyear lettering would be on the tire, it says Rapido. So I guess that was Jason's joke. So anyway, yeah, they're beautiful models, and I tried to do a fade on this one today just to have something to talk about tonight. I haven't done anything train-wise, but I'm trying to learn how to work with acrylic paints, and I'm not satisfied with it. I did the one side, and it's too streaky for me, so I'll probably wash this off, and I guess I'll break out the airbrush. And you know, I hate doing that, but the more I use it, the easier it'll be. But I sprayed the underframe. I took the tires off and I sprayed the underframe with some kind of camouflage paint. I don't know if it's Krylon, but it's called camouflage, and it's really nice. I did the truck side frames and stuff on this with that same dark flat paint, and it gives a really nice, you know, brownish black finish. So anyway, I'll do a lot more weathering on these and to get them into my late 70s time frame, but I was really happy to see these come out. So
That is very cool.
Yeah.
yeah.
I put a phone call into Jim Scorse, and I wasn't able to talk to him this week, or Ed, at NCE, because I'd like to bring them onto the show and see what's new and exciting, or what, you know, he's such a great conversation when you've got him on the show.
Mm-hmm.
And it'd be really fun. I think we had him on in somewhere within our first 40 shows that we had produced, where he is an avid O-scaler. He loves O-scale.
Oh, yeah.
He shared his layout.
I remember him.
Yes. And so there's a lot of other things that we're working on in the works. I think we're going to maybe get the gentleman from the BNSF railroad that is on my keychain whenever I wear my
John
keys.
Parker.
Yes, the name of the railroad
from Colorado?
BNSF Fall River Division.
Yeah.
Fall River
yeah,
Division.
That's a beautiful layout.
is. Every time I
That
wear
was
my
when we
keys.
were out there 4 years ago, we got to visit that layout. It's pretty nice.
Super
Pretty
nice
neat.
guy. Would love to get an update to see how he's doing, how his layout's doing, and how things are going out there in Colorado with him. So a lot of neat stuff coming up. But like I said, I talked to NCE earlier this week. It'd be great to get them on board, because there's a lot of other stuff on their website that they've got that is helpful to upgrading the system and or just wiring up and working on your layout.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of neat products out there at ncedcc.com. And tonight we're going to take our throttles just like these, and we're going to go run some trains. You want to do that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's do it.
All right.
Okay.
Did you mention the guy with the throttle holder?
No, because I didn't pull the notes off the computer. I'll do that next week. The show is in April, I think the end of the month, so I still have time to cover that. So, grab a boxcar. Get ready to smile at camera number 1. Camera number 1's rolling. You got a good frame of all us to create the thumbnail shot. Ready, set, and smile. And we've got that. Was that a real smile? I want to do that one more time. Ready?
It's fake. It's fake.
There you go. All right, rock and roll, guys.
Rock and roll.
Good job. There's no
Yeah.
puppy down here tonight running around.
Yeah.
That was. Somebody said it was our new mascot last week.
It was kind of
Yeah.
a messy podcast, but
Which one?
I don't know.
the one we just filmed, I thought.
I thought
It should be fun.
Which microphone were you wearing?
I think 4.
Yeah.
This is a rock and roll, everybody.
I'll get sound off you, but I don't even think your microphone was on.
Uh-oh. Whoops.
I'm telling you, I'm off tonight, man.